Hello, my fellow flawless, limitless, sexy, sassy, saucy HBICs. How are you on this lovely morning, afternoon, or evening? How are you all? I hope you are all doing fabulous. I'm sure you can already tell that this is a weird recording for me, and there was no special footage in the beginning like we normally have, and there won't be any edits in this video. So if I mess things up, it's staying. So I am recording off, I'm recording, I am recording off my laptop, and I'm a bit limited in my ability to get a normal video up for you today. I just don't think it's going to happen. So we're doing it fast here through the laptop. Nobody cares. Can't edit it out. You're stuck listening to me. Let's get to some basic pitch. If you need help figuring out what's going on between you and your manifestation, please feel free to email me at manifestingwithkimberly@gmail.com. All of my coaching options are in the drop box below. They're in the screens that just went by. I have 3 channel memberships. Yep, 3. I have the Big Daddy membership, the VIP membership called the Advanced Manifestors. That is a group that we get together tentatively, for now, on Tuesdays at 8 p.m.-ish Eastern Standard Time. That group is the deep dive group. We are going to be reading the books and sharing all the different perspectives on manifestation to deepen your knowledge, which hopefully then deepens your ability to trust and believe that you're manifesting, right? So when the 3D is going tits up, you don't have to lose your mind or shit yourself because you know manifestation really works. That's the point of this group. That Advanced Manifestors group is the only group that has access to all 3 channel memberships, as well as all 3 recordings, aka replays of the memberships. And also, that is the only group that will have their at random, totally private YouTube live streams. Okay. From there, I have the hot seat group that I go live with them every single Friday at 9 a.m.-ish Eastern Standard Time. That is the group that you can get yourself into the hot seat and ask me anything you want about your circumstances. Yes, you can. You can ask all the questions. You are limited for about, 10 to 15 minutes in that hot seat. Okay. And it's basically like having a quick hot seat. Well, it is called the hot seat group, Kim, you idiot. A quick little coaching session, essentially. It is recorded and it does get placed into the hot seat / group coaching playlist. So you will be able to watch the replays. Yes, you have access to those hot seaters. Yes, you do. And that hot seat group, if you join that one, you also have access to the Tuesday group, which is the exclusive lives group. That membership is the group that I go live with them on Tuesdays at 9:30 p.m.-ish Eastern Standard Time. That is a judge only group. Do not print your circumstances because we don't want to hear them. We only talk success stories, tips, and tricks. Okay. So I have TikTok, I have Instagram, I have Clever, and I would love for you to join me everywhere. If you're new, how you doing? I'm Kimberly. And yep, I'm like this all the time. And my goal in life is to make manifestation simple because it is simple. And the more you understand who you really are, you will see that it is simple. It is. It's easy to manifest. When we get lost in our logic, that's when it starts to feel uncomfortable and hard. So if you can handle that, I would love for you to subscribe and come back and see me. And please let me know you subscribed because YouTube doesn't always tell me. They just give me a new number, just an updated number. I want to know my HBICs. Okay. Ugh, I'm done. I'm done. And I don't have a timer, so I have no idea how long that took. Okay. Let's get busy. Today's message. It was a bit inspired from my hot seat coaching group today. And it led me to read something that I needed to reread anyway for my Advanced Manifestors group. And a little tidbit from Napoleon Hill I'm about to read right now. And I will tell you that Napoleon Hill thinks of his mind like it has another self, right? It's what he referred to as his other self. And he's referring to heaven and hell, God and the devil. in his mind. And, you know, essentially, when we have thoughts that are really uncomfortable, doesn't it kind of sound good to just say, oh, that's the devil trying to trick me again? I mean, just something easy like that, right? Now, granted, on this channel, we talk about what I believe, and I try to share all perspectives on manifestation. And I do believe that we are all pure, unadulterated consciousness. And all of the thoughts that flutter through our mind, how they just pop in to our mind, I look at them as thought vehicles, right? They are opportunities for you to hop into that thought vehicle and ride on off to a different version of yourself, where you can look at it as a different reality. Now, for any of you that grew up with any kind of religious background, I've shared before, my religious background is I was raised being a Catholic, and clearly I'm not a Catholic anymore. But so I grew up with the idea of a separate God and a devil. And I was scared of the devil. Okay, nobody wants to be hanging out with the devil, right? Well, and when you become aware that who you really are is consciousness, which another word for that is God or universe, whatever you believe it is. I'm not here to force you to believe anything. However, I am here to share what I believe. Again, consciousness, God. So because of that, right, when we get upsetting thoughts, fearful thoughts, doubtful thoughts, it is frustrating. Sometimes those thoughts are very frightening, right? The fear of them showing up in our 3D, or the fear of them manifesting. It can be very frustrating. And one of the reasons why I really do enjoy Napoleon Hill's perspective on what's going on up here is he thinks of it a bit literally. Well, is it literal? I'm not sure. Maybe I shouldn't throw that word in there. I would have edited that out. Now I can't. So I shouldn't say literal, but he thinks what's going on up here is it's literally heaven and hell, God versus the devil in our mind. So instead of thinking of a separate heaven and a separate hell, that it's playing out within your mind at this moment. And I like that perspective. Now, you don't have to accept that the devil's running around in your brain if you don't want to, but I do think it could be beneficial for you to think of your negative thoughts that way, so that we don't have to be afraid of them. And the reason why I say that is because I brought this up before, that you don't control the thoughts that just pop in your mind. Let's take a minute. Let's sit still for 1 minute, maybe 30 seconds. You staring at me, you know damn well a thought popped in your mind. Maybe like, how long is she going to stare into that? What is she going to say next? What's going to happen next? How long is this fucking video going to be? You know, a thought popped in. You didn't control that thought. Just came in, right? We don't control the thoughts that pop into our mind. I am not saying that we can't consciously choose thoughts. Well, of course we can. Those are called affirmations, right? Or entertaining our imagination, stepping in to imagination. I love being in my imagination. Why? Because I believe that's the true reality, right? The more we are in our imagination, playing around and thinking of what life would be with whatever it is you're manifesting, that's fun to me. That's fun. I'm not much of a visualizer. Something about that title I just don't jive with, but we do think in pictures, and my mind's fluttering around with pictures all day long. I'm also not going to be able to edit out any of the barks. Sorry about that. So again, heaven and hell in the mind. Hear me out. That fear motivated self is not dead. It has merely been dethroned, and it will follow you around wherever you go, awaiting a favorable opportunity to step in and take charge of you again. It can gain control of you only through your thoughts. Remember this and keep the doors to your mind tightly closed against all thoughts which seek to limit you in any manner whatsoever, and you will be safe. Now, this is from Napoleon Hill's book, Outwitting the Devil. And he had that conscious thought there that he believed his other self, God, was giving to him. And he is describing this right now like when you're choosing more beneficial thoughts, that is you, allowing your other self, allowing the God self to take over. We can look at that way if that feels comfortable. I think it's unimportant. I think what's more important is you being aware that you are consciousness. However, even with Napoleon Hill's view that it's the devil giving you those limited, shitty thoughts, guess what? Doesn't that feel just a teeny bit more comfortable? Hey, I don't have to be afraid of the thoughts that come in my mind. I can consciously be aware, oh, that's the devil. That's hell in my mind. I don't have to be afraid that that thought's going to manifest. I can decide that that thought doesn't belong to me. I can decide that that thought is just to another version of me or another reality. Either way, I don't have to be afraid of it. I can say no to it. I can reject it. If a thought comes in that frightens you, you can absolutely say, nope, not my reality. I am not choosing that. I refuse to choose that. There's so many different things you can say to soothe yourself in the moment. You see, you're so damn powerful. You are so powerful. You are able to be any version of yourself. You're in control with what you do with the thoughts that come in your mind. And the thoughts that you choose, Napoleon Hill would say, the other self, the God self, is leading you to whatever it is you're manifesting. But you get to decide, yes, I'm going to choose those thoughts. Yes, I'm going to listen to the more favorable thoughts. Those are the thoughts I agree with. You have the authority to decide what thoughts matter. You have the authority, hear me, the authority to decide what thoughts matter, what thoughts are important. Thoughts can be there. Negative thoughts can pop into your mind, and it's not your fault. If it would bring you comfort to say, well, that's the fucking devil fucking with me again. I don't have to listen to that shit. Let's go for that. Or let's go with what Kim says. It's just a thought vehicle to another version of you. Yes, there might be a reality out there somewhere living the experience of that shitty thought, but I'm not choosing that. I refuse to be that self. I refuse to be in that reality. I am my new self. New self always implies to me, I am the me who's having exactly what I want, my manifestations. That's what new self means to me when I say that, when I claim that, when I think that consciously. We flutter and fluctuate through states all day long. States is just the fancy name of different versions of yourself. These versions of self, these states, they're what you're aware of. That's what it means when you hear anyone say, who are you aware of being? Yes, that sounded right. Who are you aware of being in this moment? If you don't know the answer to that or you're unsure, how are you perceiving reality? There you go. That's your answer. You're in charge of your awareness and where you're placing your focus on. But everything is housed in consciousness. Everything is. All versions of you, all states of consciousness. And you are choosing them moment by moment by what thoughts you choose to believe or to marinate in. That's how you're choosing. Think about this. You are so powerful, so powerful. So if you are someone that was raised with any kind of religious upbringing, maybe it would bring you some comfort to think of the thoughts as the devil. And I know this is not my first video referring to this book, Outwitting the Devil. I have made another video on, thinking of the thoughts as it's just the devil trying to keep you down. But the reason why I'm bringing it up again is because I also think that people have this assumption that if I'm really new self, I must feel different. Like there's no way I can have a bad day and still be new self. Well, why not? Why can't you be? Why can't you have your feelings and emotions today? Why does that automatically have to imply you're not new self? Hi, you are in charge of who you are aware of being. And if you decide that it's perfectly safe and secure and okay to have a bad day and not feel it 100%, but you can still be new self, you can still claim that for yourself. Long story short, I really only need to say one damn sentence. You can't mess this up. Return to your decision to be your new self. I really just need to make a daily video saying that. And that would be enough because it covers it all. You're okay. You're safe. Return. Return. Some of you, some of you send me such, heartbreaking emails. Oh my God, Kimberly, I was in the victim state for this amount of time. What am I going to do? What have I done? You haven't done shit. Return to your decision. There's nothing to worry about. Fearful thoughts are just fearful thoughts. They're not automatic weapons that are about to explode in manifestation in your reality. They're not. There's a lot of fear and fear mongering around manifestation. There's a lot of people who present themselves as the guru, the all-knowing all, or the all-knowing oracle, when they're just humans too, sharing their perspectives on manifestation, just like me. But you're a human too, and you get to have your perspective and opinion on manifestation too. And what your decision is on what's okay for you to manifest. You're making that rule, and it's okay. So I will tell you, my rule is that I can have a bad day and still be new self and still get what I want. I can have my feelings and emotions and I'm still going to get what I want. I'm safe and secure, period. I can't mess things up. I'm doing everything right. That's who I am. When I find myself getting really sucked into 3D and I don't like how I feel, I remind myself, though, that I am that new self. I do, because that makes me feel good. That's the decision I make. That's the conscious decision I make for myself. And you can do the same. So I feel more barking is going to happen because my neighbor's home. So I'm going to end this video because I cannot edit out the barks. So I hope you are all having a fabulous Friday. I do. And I hope you are going to have a fabulous weekend by you choosing to be the version of yourself that has exactly what you want. Stop judging the 3D and stop judging yourself. And on that note, I'll see you tomorrow. There's that long, awkward pause in between ending this. Have a good one.